So, the idea of this assignment is that you will learn about different types of transportation systems and how they compare to each other. What I would like my students to get out of this is a comparison of the actual alternatives. And for the purpose of the assignment, you should imagine that you're going to pitch an entire system considering the cradle to grave of the whole system. Do we have to make friends with countries we don't like? Is there a benefit of international relations, economic issues? Are there different environmental variables, like is something better for carbon but worse for water quality, but better for air pollution but worse for biodiversity? You can use any real existing technology, but you cannot invent something which doesn't exist. Yeah.
So say, like, since there's not, like, there's some, alternative fuel sources that aren't, like, popularized by big car companies, how are we supposed to know, like, what an accurate, miles per gallon is or something without
It gets kind of dodgy, and that's a problem with some of the more marginal stuff. Like, you can run a car on compressed air, and you can use a waterfall to create that air compression, if that's a really viable national alternative. That's kind of pretty dicey. So a lot of stuff sounds really sweet, but, it's just not all that viable. So you've got to really consider the full systemic reason of your proposal. The way that it works is you'll make a poster, you walk in with the poster. We'll walk around and look at each poster, and then we'll talk about it in just a couple of minutes. Contrary to what it says on the paper, you do not need to explain how the car works. A lot of students really fumble their explanation of hydrogen fuel cells or something. You need to understand it, because other kids might call you out. And you have to be knowledgeable enough to have a conversation about it, but you don't need to explain it as part of your presentation, because there's really no presentation. You'll put up your posters, we'll all walk around in little musical chairs, everybody checks out all the posters. Then I stand in the middle of the room, and I go, you, what's best about yours and what's worst about the others? And you go, oh, A, B, C, and Diego sucks because of X, and Hayden sucks because of Y, and I know that Julia said Z, but ours is even more Z. You don't have to win every variable. There's always a trade-off. So a lot of you will say, look, I know that it's slower, it's not as sexy, or it's not as safe, but, on the other hand, blah, blah, blah. I will assign you randomly a type of transportation, and you'll have to research it and defend it against the others, which is not always easy because some of them are a lot less environmentally popular. Yeah?
Is anything stopping people from just saying, like, making, like, a supercar that's, I guess it's, like, the maximum of 200 miles a gallon that costs $30,
That thing about it has to exist.
Right, but like if there is an engine, say,
Yep.
I don't know, 50 miles, they could just do that.
It has to be a real option. And you got to consider the whole system.
Right.
So is that really an alternative for everyone? And does that have downsides that limit major users? Because you got to sell this to a whole country that's just like the United States. All the demographics and numerical things. Any other questions? I'll show you the posters that I did not like. I accidentally threw away the posters I did like. I'm not very smart. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Bad ones are cool.
So you have to make good ones not having seen them. One of my favorites was this one. As a poster, I like that it's bold and legible and has a lot of facts and not a lot of words, except they copied from the internet. They just printed some other guy's poster.
Genius. Yeah, how'd you find out?
I just Googled it.
You're like, wow, that's really good.
Yeah, I just entered that title on the internet and I got that poster. Small writing, too much writing. Excellent, it's just facts. It's just kind of cluttered and loud and too many colors, and it's just hard to identify the information. Remember, these are all the bad ones. I didn't say the good ones. Spectacular facts, but way too cluttered and too much writing. Bonus point for putting a picture of me in the poster. Otherwise, great information, cluttered writing. Pretty good understanding of the issues, pretty diverse facts, really good factual systemic stuff, but pointless, crappy tagging and very urban writing, we call that. And very difficult to read and identify the facts. You get the idea. What you're really shooting for would be like infographics. Like a couple of charts and like a couple of bullets, just like some numbers. Really, like if you're writing, you probably blew it. It's not like taking an essay. There's no writing involved. You have to know about it, put the highlights on a poster, and then we will discuss as a class. Yeah?
Are we allowed to like just do it on the computer and print it out like Kinko's or something?
I
Or would you rather it be handwritten?
would prefer handwritten work.
Okay.
What else?
What size poster?
Oh, you know, yeah.
That one that was stolen from Google, even though it's stolen from Google, is still liquid. That way somebody should.
Yeah, I mean, it's got big writing, a few key facts. I like how you could, that was the most legible poster. And so I liked it for its legibility. That's probably why they published it. Yes?
It's kind of rude because everyone's doing their own poster.
Who says everyone's doing their own poster?
Oh, it's a group simulation.
Uh-huh. Anybody else? Count off from 1 to 8. Hey, you're wearing the state shirt. Cool. Look, I got the fugly color.
Twins.
You wanted the fugly color?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too. Okay.
1,
2, 3, 4,
6.
7, 8,
4, 2, 3,
5, 6.
7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8,
1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
8? Everybody has questions like, what comes after 7? And then, Lane is in group number 1. Who's group number 1? You get stuck with Lane Fisher. Okay. Here comes your topics. Group number 1, raise your hand. Compressed natural gas. You'll be talking to each other in a minute.
Oh, you assign
Group number 2, raise your hand. Look around. You are vegetable oil vehicles. Group number 3, electric. Group number 4, conventional gasoline. Group number 5, flex fuel / ethanol. Group number 6, diesel. Group number 7, hybrid. Group number 8, hydrogen fuel cells.
Jackie, your group 5.
Now listen very carefully. Listen very carefully. If you don't like what you were assigned, you can just propose something that nobody else is doing. So if you find another vehicle alternative, you can remove yours from consideration by proposing something different. I will give you 7 minutes to talk to the people in your group. Ready, set, go.